Welcome to the Christian and Daniel Show.
It's about to get real, well, you know the deal. You won't have to guess how either of them feel. Bringing up the things you don't think to know. Never knowing where the conversation will go. Just a little more than anything goes. It's a Christian and Daniel Show.
Hey everybody, and welcome
to the Christian
and Daniel Show. So much going on right before the show starts. How are you doing, babe?
I'm doing good. How are you, hon?
I'm good. So
we are on the cusp of something very new.
I actually ordered food, and it arrived just now. It arrived early, so.
And I'll tell you, folks, where Daniel lives, it never gets there early. So for it to be there early, it's like, okay, what the heck?
And so the guy might arrive at my door any second now. But
Daniel,
how are you doing, babe?
Daniel is supporting the local economy.
I am.
I actually didn't fill my Christian and Daniel cup today.
I didn't either. Well, I was going to bring it with me, and I forgot to bring it with me. So I'm glad you were kind enough. Oh, okay. Keep talking because my food is here. That's what happens on live TV.
So what's happening today, folks? I have been. It's been an interesting day. I had some insomnia last night. I couldn't get to sleep till about 4:30, almost 5 in the morning. And then I didn't get a lot of sleep because as soon as I fell asleep, basically, a certain individual whose namesake is on the show walked through my back door, and his phone did some creepy baby hello thing. Hello. And it woke me up. And so I'm working on very little sleep today. And my disease is kicking my booty today. My anorexia is really kicking in. And it's been hard to keep myself fed. It's been hard to do that. And today was not like a day of just sitting and resting either. So it's interesting. But you know what? Life in recovery is not always easy. It's not always pretty. It's not always what we want. But I'm so grateful to be in recovery and that I know what's going on today. Like I know my disease was doing push-ups in the other room, and it just wants to break through and have me, hurt myself. And I'm refusing to do it. I'm all no. I am going to stay fat to stay healthy.
I said no. I said stop it.
Stop bugging me now.
Because little known from after last week on Thursday, I got rear-ended on the freeway. So that's why Christian had to go there and get Christian. We had to go to the auto shop. Although, you know what, Christian? They called me just like an hour ago. That's what woke me up from my nap. They called me to tell me they might be ready by Friday. So I might have the car ready.
Yeah, I told you if it wasn't for me, it would only take a few days to get done. So that's really good news.
Caliber Collision in Santa Monica, California. Thank you, folks, thank you for your help. And the folks at AAA and the folks at Hertz. All of y'all put together made it so less stressful. So, but yeah,
so easy. Just walk in.
Yeah. And
then
we don't work for any of them. We're not sponsored by any of them, but we receive great service by all three of them. So we want to make sure that we talk about them. We do have a surprise. I don't know. I haven't seen any of the comments yet. I want to make sure for everybody watching. Join the conversation. If you're watching here, go into the videos. We want to welcome all the folks on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Thank you for joining us. Make sure that you are part of the conversation and join in. Can I say one more thing before we move on? Because I want to make sure it's up.
Sure.
I'm about to get the link to post so you guys can go check it out. Oh, it's really bright. The book is out. I'm sure you can see it. There it is.
Go back further.
So bright in here.
There you go.
It's the book. The book is out.
Daniel's first children's book is out.
Grumpy Bunny and the Colors Game is out, and you can get it on hardcover and paperback. And I'm going to post the link. This is me. In this Casey did the photo for this picture. And I'm going to show you just quickly. I know that the lights are really bright in here, but it's dedicated to my mommy. And I want to thank Jennifer Gatch and Vivian Gatch, who did the illustrations. My producer, actually my editor and publisher, Mr. Kevin Moyers with Bunny 17 Media. But these are some of the illustrations that you will see in the book. And it has a glossary, so you don't have to dummy down your kids. And then there's a picture of me as a baby.
Not that you would ever dummy down.
Do what?
Not that anyone would ever dummy down their children.
No, we don't encourage that. We encourage smart up your kids. So there's a glossary in the back, talks about the chakras, and I hope you'll find it. I'm going to put the link in the comments so you guys can find it. Hey, Karen. Yes, thank you. And I hope he makes it on the comments today, because we listen to our audience here at Christian and Daniel Show. We listen to you and your petitions. So we have a special surprise for you folks. I think he's ready.
Special surprise so much as we might be trending on a format change.
We might. I mean, if
where we can have options to do.
Yes. Yeah. So because we forgot to mention our crew, our production.
Yeah. Thank you.
Our musical director, Mr. Kekalama.
Our artistic director, Kecho
Goria. And we have here today our stage manager. Da-da-dan!
Hi. From the Christian and Daniel mug.
I didn't see you guys there. How are you?
And you notice how he drinks it he puts it with his hand in his chin. Yeah. That's very British.
I'm drinking.
Oh my God!
What is it? It's black cherry tea.
Ooh, I have had that. It's so good.
It is. It's very tart.
I don't have to add anything to it. I love it.
And so if I read your book, Daniel, I'm going to learn about all the different chakras.
You will. You will
so
get
like
lesson.
White chakra, dark chakra, chakra, milk chakra.
We're not talking about chakras.
And you'll get to be. You'll also get to be, a grumpy bunny.
Ooh, well, okay. It is a bit of a sexy picture in the back for a children's book, but that's all right,
Yeah, Daniel. His glamour shot from 1982.
Hi guys. Read my book.
And you have to.
I'm not okay. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm not. But back in 1991, 92. I was moving into my first apartment by myself, and I didn't have any pictures and any. So I went to, was it Sears or JCPenney, one of the two, and they had one of those like buy a package photos things, and it's still at the ranch. I'm gonna see if Juanita can get it for me, but the original photo that I gave my mom is still there, and it's because the kids' photo in here is all in denim. The photo that I took when I turned 21 is all in denim. See, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's me in denim. And then today I was wearing denim. I love denim. I'm a Texas boy.
So you went and got a glamour shot in denim.
In denim at Sears.
Wow. Come on, you're old. It's Sears and Roebuck at that point.
I mean, Sears? They don't even exist.
At Sears. Not anymore. Shut up, you two. I don't know why I thought this was going to be. I don't know why I thought this would be a good idea. How you doing, Gabe? How's it going out there?
I am fantastic. Because I'm on the well, let me be the first to announce I am on the new Gabe, Christian, and Daniel show.
Yeah. To be honest,
it was part of my negotiation. I had to get top billing. I'm sorry. I'm a bit of a diva.
To be honest, you are the first guest ever on the Christian and Daniel show. So congratulations.
I'm gonna have to get a tattoo to commemorate this.
We couldn't think of anybody better to have a three-way with than with you.
There you go.
Nothing better than a reluctant heterosexual.
We like to think our show is good for children across the world in America.
We're inclusive.
I believe that children are the future.
You know,
that's all we can say because we have to pay royalties.
It's always good.
But no, tell us. Okay.
No, you go.
No, I was going to say, tell us how's it going on with you? What's going on out there with you?
With you talking to me or Christian? Sorry.
No, you Gabe.
No, to you, Gabe.
Oh, we already did us.
I finally got enough. Well, I had an offer fall through on the Hacienda, but another one came through and accepted. So that's good news.
On the Hacienda?
Yeah, he didn't show you the house I have for sale?
He doesn't share anything with me.
Oh, I tell him to send things to you all the time.
Yeah, no, he won't do it. He doesn't do it.
I had a house for sale, and I called it the Hacienda because it's a Spanish-style Mediterranean house. It's orange and brown. It's awesome.
Well, congratulations on
house
this.
I've ever done. Daniel will send you the link. It's
Yeah.
if anyone wants to look it up on Zillow, it's 1521 South Campbell in Springfield, Missouri. So
Very cool.
Gabe does really good with colors and combinations. You're very unique in your choices. And I mean that in a positive, not in a.
No, I know.
He's so unique.
I know. I'm just glad I'm not Mrs. Shiplap. You know, like what's her name?
Shiplap.
Like this house needs more shiplap. Let's paint it white. Paint it white and gray, and then put shiplap in it because that's cool.
Every room, shiplap.
I feel like I want to go do a demolition day with you.
Well, yeah. I mean. Well, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. That'd be great.
Give me 2 seconds. I apologize for
that. I was being honest about that.
No, I know. I was going to say something, but if you and I were talking, you wouldn't take it improperly, but somebody else might. So I know how to be PG-13 sometimes.
Yeah, well, we try to keep the show nice, but there it is.
Hey, he moved.
But anyway, what else is going on in our world? I'm going to be honest. I fell asleep. I came home after driving and I passed out. I was a little nervous driving the rental just because it's so different in size and trying to coordinate driving. So I was stressed out driving.
No, he's used to an SUV. He's in his Scion XB, and now he's in a 4-door Hyundai Elantra.
Oh, so you're much lower to the ground, yeah.
And they had a bright lime green Kia Soul, which would be more similar to the XB, but he didn't want to drive a car that was electric lime color.
Oh, good Lord. Get over it. Be out and be loud, Daniel. Be out and be loud.
Stop being ashamed, babe. Stop.
Everyone knows.
I don't live in that world.
Know. Gabe's cats know.
Yes.
Well, after I drove off, after we drove off, I kind of thought I should have gotten the lime green car just because had I known it was only going to be for 3 days, I would have totally gotten it.
My truck is orange.
Wow. Burnt orange?
Yeah, it's only 2,500 ever made in that color by the.
Wow. I know what color you're talking about.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I love it. I had an orange Jeep and I traded in for an orange truck.
What was y'all's very, very first car ever?
1974 Ford Pinto wagon with an avocado green interior, and I don't know what color they called on the outside. Yellow, puke yellow on the outside. With a 4-speed on the floor and a 2-liter in the front.
2-liter of what? Vodka?
For everybody watching, for all of our friends watching, hi Wayne, what was y'all's first car? Let's see if anybody matches cars. What was your first car, Gabe?
I had the first car I legally owned was a red Chevy Corsica station wagon.
Oh God!
In the 80s, it was an 80s model. Yeah, I think it was a maybe it was a Cavalier. I don't know, whichever one the station wagon was, but
either one.
And it had no front strut, so you hit the brakes and the front end just dove.
Oh yeah,
good car. Good car. Went through many a cornfield with it.
Yeah, those cars were made for beating up and letting rust down to nothing.
Yep.
They just were not meant to last a long time, so you might as well treat them that way.
Well, they were American made. That's all we built back then was rust.
Yeah.
Wayne's first car was a 2001 Mercury Cougar.
He's young.
I was 31. Yeah. I was 30 years old in 2001. How dare you, Wayne? The
2001, yeah, I'd already bought my own vehicle.
Hi, Melinda. Welcome to the show, sweetie.
Ford Granada. My mom had those as a company car in her early years. Oh, I remember those things. Those things were tanks. My dad hit me with one when he took me out to do my paper route, and he didn't like being out that early in the morning. And so I was walking beside the car, and it was really super foggy. This is up in Northern California, just outside San Francisco. Super foggy. And I decided to cross over thinking he sees me, and he ended up hitting me. And but 5 miles per hour. But those Ford Granadas have steel. Everything about them is steel. So that little tap threw me about 2 feet from the car. And I was like, and my left knee, oh my God, it hurt. That thing, he barely tapped me. But those cars were made of metal. They were made to last. Unless they hit a humid environment, then they rust.
I got hit by a car when I was riding my bike, and it was this country road, so there, how you guys are used to roads with the emergency lanes where they're nice and wide. Well, this one was there's the camera. It was about literally this wide before it was road and then ditch. And so I'm riding along the road, I'm in a curve, and I hear a car coming. I mean, we're talking, this is like the Griswold's family station wagon. And I hear it coming, or Uncle Buck. It sounded more like Uncle Buck's car, but it was the station wagon like a Griswold. So I look back, but I don't see him because the curve is behind me. So I'm looking the wrong direction to see so I go to cross the street. Well, he was moving over for me, so he wouldn't hit me. Well, we met in the middle, and luckily he had no struts either. So when it dove, it hit just under the frame of the bike because it was a big mountain bike. It was my 16th birthday. I just got the bike, brand new, going to my girlfriend's house to get some, fun times, and pulled the bike out from underneath me. I was standing. It took the bike out from underneath me, and I was standing in the middle of the road.
Wow.
I got hit by a car and was standing in the middle of the road. I mean, I got shot. I jumped, and I almost didn't get shot, so I'm almost faster than a speeding bullet. I'm almost faster than a Chevy station wagon. But yeah, But back to other car, my buddy had the same time I had my Corsica. He had a '78 Ford Fairmont. I don't know if you remember those. Banana yellow.
Oh yeah.
And it had real hardwood floors because the floors were rusted out because we were from Minnesota. So we put plywood floors in it. It had hardwood floors.
So it was a Fred Flintstone car.
Yep. Well, yeah, and then eventually we made it a convertible. We just cut the top off of it.
Oh my God. That's the best thing when you get these really old cars. They're cheap to fix, easy to find parts for at any pick and pull. Sorry, pick and pulls, folks, and particularly for young folks because they don't pick and pull with modern cars hardly at all anymore. Pick and pull is where you used to find a whole bunch of wrecked cars and they'd let you go in there with your own tools and you could literally pick and pull whatever parts you needed from to make your car work again. And for that 74 Ford Pinto I used to race that thing, that 2-liter, 89 horsepower, probably 2 pound-feet of torque, 2-liter car. I used to race it, and I was racing one day, and it was, like I said, it was 4-speed on the floor, baby. And I was like, I pulled back to second gear, and I pulled back so hard, I broke the shift arm into my hand. It broke right off, and I had to drive home in second gear. That was fun. And in those days, the second gear ratio is pretty low. So I was going
to about 30 at max. Yeah.
Not even 30, 20, 25 max. And it was like the whole way home. My dad looked at me and he said, well, I guess we're going to go pick and pull tomorrow. He goes, you're going to fix it. He goes, you're going to learn. You want to play, you're going to pay. And he was good about that. He taught me that's why I learned about cars, and I love cars. I don't love working on cars, but I like them.
My first car was...
I wouldn't go in there like Daniel and go, car no work. What do? How much?
Well, my first car was a 1978 Dodge Challenger.
Oh, that's nice.
Orange red. It was, but back then they were little. They were little cars. It was a hand-me-down. It was Nancy's car, and then it went down to me.
Nancy's car.
And still.
And I love Nancy, but Nancy drives hard, so that car had some hard driving.
And then I was still driving it in 1995. It lasted a long time. It went through several motors, lots of parts, but it kept leaving me random. That was the car. I don't know if I ever told this story, and I'll tell it really quick. That was the car that I was 20 years old. I was told not to go out to the bars, but I snuck out of the house, went to the bar. My curfew was 12:30, so if I left the bar at 12, I made it home by 12:20, and I still had time to pick up food at the Jack in the Box. One day, I got to the bar, and I ran in. I came out. It wouldn't start. I had to call my dad to come to the gay bar to pick me up, and my dad can't figure out. So by the time my dad got there, it was like 1 o'clock. We're trying to figure out why it wouldn't start. Then my dad gets in and he goes, "You put it on park." It was on drive, and the car starts. And it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and all the drag queens are coming out of the bar. I was 20 years old, and I was grounded. I couldn't go out to the bar. That's my
Daniel.
But it was Nancy's car first.
Well,
for everybody else watching out there, you are watching, everybody watching, you're watching the Christian and Daniel Show. Our special guest today is Mr. Gabe Ledo. He is sitting here with us we're talking about cars. And what was your first car when you started driving? We want to welcome all our friends on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Welcome to the show, and please join the conversation.
And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to smash that like button.
Smash that subscribe
button, folks.
And the little bell notification so you know when new shows are coming out.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding.
Oh, and another announcement. We're moving.
Oh.
Yes.
We're moving to a new time starting next week.
Earlier?
So for all of our East Coast friends, you'll be able to watch us live. Starting next week, we're moving to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So I don't know why I let y'all be together.
I don't know why
but starting next week, make sure you set your timers. We'll be moving to 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you look for the new times. And if you want to be a special co-host, just drop us a line and let us know, and we'll invite you to the show to join us. I can't believe we still have like 30 more minutes of you two.
Daniel's like, are we done yet? I did my announcement.
Hey Daniel, how mad are you that I do this? I'm sitting off center on purpose. I know it's got to be annoying.
You are throwing me off, Gabe. Throwing me off.
Here, I'm gonna sit behind the logo.
I would think that out of the three of us, you'd be the one that would be sitting up straight. But here we are.
I'm gonna be the logo.
There you go. And I just want to talk about my book, my notepad. It's a special custom-made notepad that we have. Can you see it? Can everyone hear me? And here I am. Here I am on the show. Hi, everybody.
Oh my God! Y'all forget that I have the remove button on my end.
Oh,
like I can remove y'all any minute now.
Give them a little bit of power. Look at them flex.
Yeah,
God, you're not a politician.
Is there any topic that you want to talk about, Gabe?
I'm just here to pick on you mostly.
Okay,
got it.
Understood. No, I mean I'm up for whatever you guys talk about. Maybe we can talk about some woke stuff, and I can dispute it. No.
Yes.
What else went on?
it's
We were interviewed yesterday. I forgot
We
to mention that
we were in an interview
we were
together.
interviewed yesterday.
Separately at first, then they brought us together, and it was for patient advocacy, HIV/AIDS awareness. We're just kind of talking about the caretakers. I don't know why I put me third in that sentence, but talking about caretakers and what we go through and kind of like I was talking about things that a lot of people don't know. Like when you get into caretaking, there's not a book. There's not something you turn to and go, oh, this is what's going to happen. Oh, this is how it's going to be. Oh, I need to remember to take care of myself. All that stuff kind of went out the window. So we had a really great interview about that, and also about the culture of abuse that takes place in county hospitals. Not all of them, but some of them have a culture of abuse that they're not focused on the patient, and they let people suffer. And I had to go through that, and I had to fight the hospital and fight the good fight every single day that Daniel was at the county hospital near me. And then luckily he got transferred to the Ritz-Carlton, his own hospital in Newport Beach overlooking the ocean, which is Hogue Presbyterian. I'm always happy to mention that. And, then he had like 3 nurses. Like Daniel was in heaven. He had all the attention he ever could want. 3 nurses tending to him like constantly. And of course he was thrilled to have all the alarms going off. But in that hospital, when the alarms went off, they actually came and turned them off. In the other place, it was like they're going on and on and on. I actually learned to turn them off myself and just started turning them off myself because I couldn't stand it anymore.
For everybody watching,
they have great pastrami.
For everybody watching, I wanted you to know that we have 2 links on the comment sections. One is the book is out. My book is out. We showed it at the beginning. I'll show it again in a little bit. And second, if you want to watch the interview that we did with, oh my God, I just forgot his name. Stephen.
Odenheim. Stephen
Odenkirk. Was that his last name? I forgot his last name right now.
Not Odenkirk, but yeah, Odenheim or something like that.
So if you want to see the interview, it's on the comment section, so go check it out. If you want to look at the book and start buy the pre-sale, it's out there right now. Are you a good patient and are you a good caregiver, Gabe?
I'm a wretched patient. Oh wait, you said Gabe, not Gabe.
Yeah, you get used to it. I get it.
I say Gabe.
I apologize.
I'm your typical.
I don't mean to overstep Gabe and what he's saying, but
I'm your typical macho man, So as soon as I get sick, I fall apart, and I can't, do anything, and I need to be weighed on hand and foot. But yet, I don't get sick very often because I was a garbage man for 11 years. So I think I'm pretty much immune to everything. When you've pulled out as many used condoms and other issues from the back of your truck, you get used to it, and yeah.
That's hardcore. Nasty.
Are you a?
Go ahead.
Are you a good
caregiver?
Or should we call your wife in to ask that question?
No, I'm a great caregiver. I'm one of those. I try to help too much, but not. I've never had to help anybody who was sick. So I don't know. But as far as like people around me, that if they're in trouble, I'm always trying to help, and I sometimes have to be reined in because sometimes I do too many things that I shouldn't be doing, or I try to help too much. And it's not because I'm doing something bad, but just that I'm overextending myself to help people. And most times not reciprocated. I'm a giver, but but once you burn me, it's over. Once you burn that bridge is burned.
Caregiving someone, they can't caregive you the same way back. I'm not familiar with that. How does that work again?
I think
you gave amazing care to someone, and then they're like, when you get sick, they're all, suck it up, buttercup. Oh, did you want something? It's over there. You need to get up and get it.
I have never once ever said that I was a good caregiver ever. I am good
No one
at
else
very
does either.
many different things, but I am not. I don't have. I don't have that. It's just like I'm good at. I'm a good advocate. I will show you things. I will teach you things. But if you show any sign of weakness, I will chew you up and spit you out, and it's over.
Now, I'm not going to say it. Daniel does care
About Daniel,
but it is a yes. But it is a very different type of caretaking. Like you said, it's a tough love caretaking, rather than because I am the worst. I have no pain tolerance. I always say my mom. Unfortunately, I did not get to be genetically related to my mom. So being adopted, I didn't get her incredible tolerance to pain. I mean, my mom was like Superwoman. She was like Wonder Woman. Nothing phased her. She was never like weepy moany ever. Even when she really would get sick, she would still be like, I got this. Well, I'm like, sniffle. Ah! I'm laying in bed. I'm dying. Call the doctor. I've called Daniel in the middle of the night going, I think I need to go to the emergency room because I'm dying. And he goes, you have a cold. Suck it up, Buttercup. Go get yourself a cup of hot water. I'm like, I need you here. You should get me a cup of hot water. I'm too dizzy. I can't get up. And he's like, you're not dizzy. You just are saying you're dizzy so you don't have to get up. And now when Daniel had cancer and was suffering, I never made him get up to get his anything. And I was there. But it's interesting. What I've learned is Daniel and I are two different people. And because you're two different people, what's that? International for help.
Come on, keep going. I'm going to remember this next time you're sick.
Daniel,
keep going.
Daniel, are you done? Are you finished? May I speak now? Please listen to what I'm saying. Daniel has learned to
keep going.
Daniel has learned to adapt his behavior really well, which I have to give him kudos for, because I am the typical guy. We get the slightest sniffle, and not typical guy, but it seems like a lot of men, when they get the slightest sniffle, it's like, well, women do tend to be a little stronger about that. And they're like, whatever. And I'm blessed that Daniel has learned to adapt his behaviors quite a bit, his natural instincts quite a bit to help take care of me. And he trust me, he takes amazing care of me. And he cooks, which is such an advantage, because I don't.
Yes. Yeah, so, in that aspect, I do. Really go ahead. I'm sorry. I want to acknowledge that the reason that Gabe is here today is because of Michael Moran. Michael Moran suggested that we bring Gabe onto the show. So there is your number one fan, Gabe. So
that's Eminem right there, baby. Eminem. Mom's spaghetti.
Eminem.
Back to your point.
Their tongue.
The funny thing so I went through boot camp. I had a stress fracture in my right ankle the entire 13 weeks. And I went through boot camp that way. I was shot, never went to the hospital. I got hit in the rib. And I've been stabbed, never went to the hospital. But if I get sick, I'm down for the count. And it's just a total different thing. But I mean, there's a difference between physical pain and then just your whole body's just drained out, and you just can't, Well, and I get vertigo.
Do you remember?
Which sucks.
Yeah, vertigo.
Do you remember when I had my hernia surgery? I had my hernia surgery like on a Friday, and there was an event on Sunday. And that Sunday coming, I got surgery on Friday. And I was like, I got this. Give me the tuxedo. I'm there. Let's go. And even the people that organized were like,
was everyone was laughing at him, going, "You're never going to make it. You're never going to do it."
I'm like, I got this. I got this. Give me the tuxedo. I'm ready to go. I'm going to MC this thing. And luckily, the event got canceled because I probably would have done it. I would have forced myself.
He gets his shingle shot. The first he gets his first COVID shot, and it really knocks him for a loop. And then, like, not even a week later, he gets his first shingle shot too.
It was backwards.
Okay, so he got his shingle shot, and then he scheduled his COVID shot too within like a week. Not even within a week, probably the same week.
No. Well, it's because they called me and said we have an appointment available. Come and do it.
He was so sick. He felt terrible, and then he was still scheduling, still had things on his schedule, and I'm like, you're not going to make anything. You're not going to be able to do anything, or else you're going to be like, okay. Hey,
I only canceled one interview. And it's really because it was going to be kind of boring, so I canceled it. But I won't say the guest, but I just like, there's not enough juice to keep me entertained for an hour, so I canceled it. But I'm not a good patient in that I don't want to give myself time to rest. I want to keep going. So
yeah, Daniel is definitely a workaholic, and I'm the polar opposite.
Since we're doing the tough guy stories, I got one more. Again, Army. So we were pugilistic fighting. I don't know if you guys know pugilistics. They have the big puff balls on the end, but it's for hand-to-hand combat to get used to if you have to fight with your rifle, whether you buttstock or stab somebody with the bayonet. But anyway, so we were pugilistic fighting. We had this giant guy, and I had this one sergeant that I couldn't stand. He was like, "Oh, somebody get in there." And I said, "Why don't you get in there?" And because he was, a what's acceptable can I say pansy? Is that still woke, or is that considered?
You just did.
He was a pansy. Anyway, so I
as long as you're not calling him queer,
I go, "Why don't you go in?" The sergeant, he wouldn't. So I said, "Okay, I'll go do it." So I get in. I got my ass handed to me. But what happened was I got spun around, and when he went to hit me with the pugil stick. I got I got a good backside on me. I always have, even when I was a kid, and I didn't weigh much. I had to wear husky jeans because I had this ghetto booty. But so I got a full hockey glove directly in my back.
Oh no!
And what happened was it caused a tear, which immediately filled up with blood. So I had a torn muscle in my lat, and so I went down to the ground. Oh, this story gets way better. So I went down to the ground, and so I couldn't move. My right leg was just stuck, and I couldn't get up. Right. So then they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what exactly was wrong. They took my boots off. Well, the girlfriend at the time, she liked to paint nails. So I let her paint my nails. My toes were purple, sparkly toenails. They took off my boots. So I caught endless shit for that for the next 7 years.
I was going to say, this was probably the don't ask, don't tell era.
Oh, yeah, we don't care about that. Real grunts don't care about who's there as long as you're there to watch my six. But anyway, not watch.
Apparently, they were watching your six.
Yeah. But so then that night I went home, and the muscle, every time I moved, the muscle was tearing more and more and more because it had a big blood pocket in it. So then I went to go to the bathroom, right? So I get out there and I get a massive pain right as I walk into the bathroom. And now the next thing I remember, I'm waking up on the floor because it's called the vasovagal. A lot of old people get it. When you get an intense pain, all your jugulars open up and all the blood comes out of your head. So you pass out. Well, luckily I didn't fall forward because I would have fallen out a 2-story window. If I had gone to the toilet directly, I would have fallen into the shower. But luckily, I was just not tall enough to when I fell, because I was sideways. I did not hit the doorknob with the back of my head, but I cracked my head open. Oh. So I had to get hauled. So my girlfriend comes in. She hits me in the head when she opens the door, of course, because I'm laying there. And then she, and I'm trying not to freak out. All of a sudden, you see those eyes just go, because all she sees is blood, because your head just gushes blood. So I'm an ambulance ride later. I get 21 stitches in the back of my head. That's how bad I opened that thing up. 21 stitches. And then I had to get woken up every 2 hours. Is that right? Woken? Is woken a word?
Woke.
Awoke. I had to get awoken every 2
They
hours
make sure you're awoke
for concussion. But I still showed up the next day for duty, and they took pictures and told people they'd never have an excuse not to show up again. They let me go home, but yeah, I didn't work for a week. I couldn't move. They wouldn't give me. I had Tylenol through.
The fistula that formed in your booty.
The what to who? No, it was in my back.
Oh, they had to aspirate that, right? With a long needle.
Nope.
No. Oh,
nope. They didn't do nothing.
Wow, they're just
the
working.
Army paid for it all, but yeah. So, I never lived down those purple toenails. Let me tell you.
No, I'm sure no one forgot that.
That's right. All the single guys ripping on me. I'm like, dude, I'm the one having sex with a woman. You got nothing, so don't worry about my purple toenails. I'm just saying.
Purple toenails are an indicator of my sexual activity. Okay, I am actually doing what you are not doing.
Yes, I'm the hetero male who's confident enough to have his purple toenails. I don't care.
That's great.
This story puts a lot of your personality into perspective. Like, I understand you better. Like I understand. Everything makes so much more sense now. So that's good. I know now. We're gonna do our pick of the weeks a little earlier this week because we have 3 picks of the weeks for you folks. And because we have a special guest, we're gonna let our guest do his pick of the week first.
Yay!
So here you go, Gabe.
All right, my pick of the week is I Love You, Man. I know it's an old movie, but I watched it again, and it's one of my absolute 100% favorite movies, like of all time. And it's on Prime, and it's Paul Rudd, Jason Segel, and Paul Rudd needs to find a best man. He doesn't have any friends that are dudes, and it's just a bunch of hilarious things ensue. I think it's one of Paul Rudd's best performances by far, and Jason Segel is just perfect in it as well. And so is what's her name? The girl. I don't know. I can only remember the guys, but I Love You, Man on Prime. Awesome.
Her name is Anastasia Beaverhausen.
No, close. It's close to that. It's close to that.
Well, my pick of the week is a movie that is, unfortunately, it's not streaming. I don't know any service it's streaming on, except for like Vudu and like the pay-per-view services. But I watched this movie, Half Brother, which is about, it starts off, you see this family in Mexico, father and son, they're very close. And they're flying planes. So model airplane is their kind of father-son connection. And the economy crashes in Mexico, and his father has to go to America to work. And he says, I'll come back and I'll send money and I'll come back. And well, he never comes back. And he ends up having another family. And kind of the story starts when the father's on his deathbed, and he's a big riddle person. So he has them go on a scavenger hunt. And that's where all the hilarity ensues, because his son from Mexico gets to meet his half brother, and they couldn't be more opposite. Like they're polar opposites. So it's kind of hilarious. Yes. Thank you, Daniel. Glad to see your share. During mine. But yeah, it's a hilarious movie. I was laughing very hard the whole time.
And my pick of the week is the new episodes of Warren Stories. I know we've talked about this one on the show before, but I want to, if you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. And Warren Stories is really like stories and anecdotes and information about clothes and how clothes confine us and define us, how we present ourselves or cover ourselves up with clothes. So if you haven't seen them, go check them out. It's on Netflix, and it's a series, so you can go back and watch the first episodes and then catch up to the newer episodes. But for those of you that know me and know the shows, I'm a big t-shirt person. I love t-shirts. So they have started to define who I am. So I really enjoy the show. Excuse me. So go check it out. And I don't know if I should bring these guys back because they're just too much trouble.
Yes, because it's so much more entertaining with just Daniel.
Ooh,
It
now I'm
is.
on the bottom.
Hey,
I never would have guessed I was the bottom.
There you go. You never know. You never know till you try.
No, I'm pretty sure I
knock it.
know. I don't think it's gonna be the bottom.
don't knock it. Don't knock it. I'm just
I'm
saying.
not knocking. Hey, I'm not judging. I'm just saying I know me, and it ain't. I'm not the bottom.
I thought I knew me too, and I was almost married.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just kidding. I knew the whole time I was gay.
yeah.
You know, some part of me always knew, but my friends, there wasn't a single person. This is what pissed me off. You know, when you hear about all these dramatic coming out stories, and I didn't want that with my parents. With my parents, it went pretty well, except for my mom. She kind of lost it for a couple months, but she came around. But my friends, you know what? I was so like, F all of you. Because every time I came out to one of them, they'd be like, oh, thank God. It's about time. Or, oh my God, of course. Like, you bastards. They stole every moment when I wanted to be all, oh, don't hate me. And they're like, we love you, Christian, just the way you are. We've just been waiting for you to come out. You're the one you haven't been telling me. I was so mad. I did not get my dramatic moments when my friends just go, what? But what about? But we work out together.
Two girls that I dated in high school. The two girls that I dated in high school. When I came out to them,
it was like two lesbians.
He froze up.
everybody knew. So,
oh, you froze, Daniel.
Look at that look he had. That was perfect.
He froze like this.
He was giving me the look at the time it happened too. That
exactly.
Was,
You're giving him stink eye, and you weren't even.
y'all are horrible people.
No,
I don't know what happened.
A friend of mine, Joe, in high school, he was one of those really, really blatantly, he was gay. And he dated one of the girls in our band. And when they were together, when we were on bus trips going places to compete, all of us would be like giggling and laughing, going, because we'd see them sitting in their chair being all like, oh, and we literally go, it's like seeing two lesbians making out. It's like seeing two lesbians on the car because they both like the same thing, and she doesn't have what he wants. And it was so funny. And I think I must have been just like that.
I've always been a lesbian.
But I've seen pictures of you when you were. I've seen pictures of you when you were a teen, and you had a very. You remind me of The Rock when he was young. Like you had that kind of look.
Yeah, I was gorgeous. I was so handsome. I was so handsome, so hot, and I didn't believe it.
Did anybody smell what you were cooking?
Mm.
Or did you give them people's elbow?
Everybody liked my milkshake in the play yard.
Yeah.
I dated so many women. Slept with so many women. And I don't mean that. No, trust me, I'm not degrading women.
I slept with so many women, bro.
But I did because I didn't want to be gay, and I thought if I keep doing this, it'll leave me. It'll go away. I could tell everyone it doesn't work like that.
No.
No. If it's there, if it's in you, it's in you. You can't get rid of it. No matter how many times you go swimming, it ain't gonna change anything.
Well, I do enjoy a good swim.
Yes, I imagine you do.
So that's where we're going in the conversation.
Usually
when someone starts dating someone who's a different culture than themselves, they always start acting like they know so much about that culture. It's like, honey, no matter how much of that culture you see, it doesn't make you that culture. Just like Daniel and I. Daniel is like, hardcore Mexican. And he knows the culture. He was raised in the culture. He was raised in language, with the culture. He was born not here. And he knows his culture. And that's part of my culture. And I know nothing about it. When I met him, I thought salsa was from New York City. I'm like, that's delicious salsa. Give me some pace. And Daniel's taught me so much. And I have to admit, you do learn. But let me tell you, I'm like the worst Mexican ever. Well, 1/3 Mexican.
But people don't even, Gabe, would you have assumed that Christian was Mexican?
No, I know he's Hawaiian, and I would have guessed Pacific Islander more than anything. Yeah,
It's funny, and that is what
Hispanic.
most people guess. And
Yeah,
I'm actually
there's a little bit of Hispanic, but not much. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually Mexican, Caucasian, and black. I didn't mean to put it in that order, folks. It's just how it came out. But yeah, I'm 1/3 of those.
So,
And I learned my whole backstory. I'm not going to share it on this show, but I learned my whole backstory. What a blessing! Not many adoptees get to learn their what do they call it in hero movies? Their origin story. I don't get. Not many adoptees get to hear their origin stories because a lot of times it's so redacted and hidden, and sometimes you just don't have the energy to want to pursue it. But I had told my parents, I promised them until, I told them as soon as you guys, I won't seek out any information until you guys pass, until you guys are no longer with me. And when they passed, I said, okay, when I'm ready, I'm done mourning, or when I feel I'm ready, I'll put myself out there and I'll start looking. And I did find my family. I did find my birth family, my mother's side, that is. And I found a first cousin who did a little internal family research for me because everyone I asked was like a stone wall. It was like, what about this? What about it? Like total ghosting me and everything. So I'm like, okay, something, there's a secret here. Well, he found out, he called me, told me, and it was amazing and crazy. And my cousin, he's awesome. My cousin Sue is also here. She's like one of my favorite people on the planet. And I'm blessed now. I actually get to have, I get to have some family I actually like, as opposed to dislike, or other words. But it's very interesting that I got to find out my origin story, and it was really shocking at first because it's not it's not unicorns and rainbows. But it was really great to find out because it helped me to, that's like something I finally got to check off my lifetime list, is I don't have to wonder where I came from. And I got to see a picture of two people that I actually look like. Like Daniel looked at a picture of my birth father and he's like, oh God, that's him. There was multiple people in the picture. And Daniel walks by and he goes, oh my gosh, that's him. You have his jaw. And I totally do. From the mid face, and I have his ears too. His ears and his jaw, totally my dad. And then my mom, I got her eyes and the kind of her nose and mouth, and it was real interesting because for me, people take that for granted that they look like their parents, that they look like their relatives, and only adoptees understand what it's like when you don't look like your family. And and it's not a matter of love or acceptance. It has nothing to do with that. It's not a criticism. It's just in the psychology of an adoptee. If you don't look like your family, you crave that. You want to look like someone. You want to see your eyes. You want to see your features on someone else. And I was blessed. I mean, what a blessing. I got to have that gift of seeing that. Not live, but I got the blessing of seeing it. And I'm so grateful for that. So
it's pretty cool. Who do you look like, Gabe? Do you know?
I got to hear my origin story, but that's because my parents are sick and they videotaped it and showed it to me when I was 10. But who do I look like? My dad. Yeah, my dad and my mom.
Wow. I look like my mom and dad.
Yeah. I mean, and my brother. And my half sister. Yeah. Well.
Oh, even your half sister?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My half sister looks almost exactly like my mom. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what her dad looks like, but yeah. What's wrong, Daniel? Who are you looking for? There's nobody around, man.
He keeps looking like, who's going to be able to save him?
It's open mic. It's open mic on the Gabe, Christian, and Daniel show.
And Daniel was lucky to. Daniel's lucky. Like I saw his nose immediately when I met his family. I'm like, oh, he has a family nose. And then I thought, oh, and he kind of has the he has some face features. Like he and Nancy have some similarities, even though a lot of things. But I when I saw Daniel and his family, I realized that's his family.
Anyway,
I notice these things, and I'm being serious. Like they're beautiful. God, Daniel's family are sickeningly gorgeous people. I love them, and they are so beautiful.
I was just going to say that.
There's no ugly, but there's no ugly in Daniel's family that I've seen. They are beautiful. His mother was gorgeous. His father's handsome. All his nephews are sickeningly good looking and in pretty good shape. I don't know how that works. They all get to eat and not get fat.
I'm not gonna lie that my family is good looking.
They're pretty. His oldest sister Juanita's a beautiful woman too.
Well, you could tell. I mean, look at his absolutely old as he is, and all that he's been through. He looks great. He looks great. I mean, to be that old
and that
old, and have gone through all the things he's gone through, and to be that old,
and to be so fantastic.
I don't see gray hair. Where's your gray hair? Look at all this gray hair. Where you got all that hair? I mean, look at this.
I know. You know what? And he sheds like a cat. You'll go in the shower and there's like a clump of hair. He doesn't lose. It comes out, but it grows right back in. It's like he doesn't lose hair, and it doesn't go gray. Bastard.
I know.
It does. I have gray hair right here.
Oh, I have.
Well, it's cut now.
And it's
Apollonia cut it.
The fact
I just got it cut last week.
The fact you could point to the hairs says a lot. Well, I'm like, it's great.
Well, I just got it cut last Friday, so
I can't grow my
Friday, so she cut it up.
My beard is so gray. It's so gray. I'm like,
obviously, like mine is too. I shaved it. Gabe, I had this beautiful goatee that was black and beautiful, and I thought I was pretty sexy with it. One day, I shaved a little bit of it off by accident, so I'm like, oh crap! So I'll just shave it off and it'll grow back in. It grew back in gray. I was like, Mother Nature. So now I can't do it either.
Nope. I don't want to break the fun, but we're down to the last 4 minutes. We're down to the last 4 minutes of the show, and I want to make sure that I remind everybody that we are on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. So make sure that you follow us on Facebook, or if you're watching us on LinkedIn, make sure you follow that, follow our page, follow my page so you can keep track. If you're on YouTube, make sure you smash that subscribe button, scroll down and like our videos. We appreciate that. If you're on Twitter, will you retweet this video so people can watch it? We also want to remind you that starting next week, we are moving to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we're going down an hour and a half to make sure that our friends in the East Coast can watch us. So we're going down further than Gabe is right now. But make sure you set your alarms. We're going to be, oh my God, we're going to be on at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you set your timers and follow us next week. But we appreciate it. If you want to be a guest on our show, send us a message on whatever channel you're watching us, and we'll make sure to get back to you. Have a pick of the week, have some chat with us.
I love the I thing so many.
Good night, Susie.
I love you,
Gabe, thank you so much for being on the show. We so appreciate you.
And I'm going to say real quick to my cousin Sue, Daniel and I are both vaccinated. We are going to head up and see you guys at some point. And I think you guys are vaccinated too. So we could be in each other's bubbles now. But anyway, that aside, I can't wait to get up there. Haven't been up there in so long. I just love them.
Oh, I didn't tell you about this. See this scar right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from, we were hauling trash, and the scoop came down, and there was a garage, the chain on the garage door opener runs along that rod. Well, that rod, it slipped out, came out, and then smacked me right in the side of the face, knocked me out for a second.
You are a glutton for punishment, man.
Yeah. I've been through it all. Not as much as the old man in the corner there, but been through quite a bit.
Will you come back and join us on the show?
We'd love to have you on again.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know why I just said that. I shouldn't have said that. Why did I say that? But well, yes, we'd love to have you back on the show.
I agree. Christian agrees.
Christian, do left hand up over to the logo. Hold the logo up. It's starting to tilt.
That's right.
It's starting to tilt. There it is.
Killer mess. For everybody watching, hola Mary Cruz, buenas noches. Ya nos vamos, ya terminamos el programa. Remember, folks, We are here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. now, Pacific Standard Time. On Fridays, it's the Card Debo at the new time, 6 p.m. And on Saturdays, Put It Together Conversations at noon and 5. So you have 5. But stay.
Too many numbers.
Follow us because every once in a while we have some special episodes coming up. So we want you to stick around and join us for that. If you miss any of the shows, you can watch them on replay. For now, we want to thank Gabe. Right here. Thank you, Gabe, for being on the show. We appreciate it. Get your hand off my boyfriend. Get your hand off my boyfriend.
Here. There we go.
You're such a pervert. We want to thank everybody for watching. We will see you folks next week. Bye.